Hey, Bobby's here.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, what's going on, man? Can you hear
There
me?
you are. All right. I can hear you. Yep, gotcha.
There he is. What's going on, Bobby? How are you, man?
Dude, this is exciting journey here.
Yeah, I've been watching it, man. I'm excited
So
for you. How you feeling?
no, I mean yeah, so I launched my first product. Let's see, first day selling was February 24th. And like to be honest, the first product I launched, like I don't really have too much of an interest in. I was kind of just using it to test the waters and I
Yeah,
made it through probably like I went through module 6, I think, with
nice.
on your course,
You got all the way through six. Good man. I didn't
and
go through like 30% before I started.
well, exactly. I was like, I got to a point where I was like, all right, screw it. Like, I just gotta start and
Yeah,
just figure it out and learn on my own, or just I learned while doing it, and so yeah, like that product started, and I just started running some PPC, and all of a sudden the sales just came flooding in, and it's it's pretty addicting, just like getting
oh
those
man.
sales.
I know that just that feeling of like refreshing the sales page every 10 minutes. You're like, oh, oh, I got another one.
Oh,
Yoo-hoo.
it's bad, but
Yeah.
that's like my motivation to keep launching more products. So every time I refresh the sales page, it just keeps
Oh,
going
dude.
up.
That's the new
But
Netflix. It's a good time.
yeah, exactly.
So, dude, let me like, I guess first off, congratulations. Like, I'm super. I get this feeling like whenever someone succeeds, I just like smile ear to ear because like I don't know, like, what do you do for a job right now?
So yeah, so I'm an engineer. I work at a startup LED light company, and so I'm actually
Okay.
the head of product engineering there.
Wow.
So this but I've always wanted to get into something a little more exciting, and
Yeah.
so this is kind of like this is gonna I think I'm gonna take this to like big proportions here because I I already I already have a good grasp. I've been like my job is designing products and working with suppliers and stuff,
Right.
and
Oh, good
it's
man.
all through the traditional sales channels that like the industry has, but you just can't I'd be stupid not to realize like the opportunities through the e-commerce sales channels, and so that's kind of like that's when I was really browsing around, like, all right, what's like another like little side job I can do to get like a taste of the e-commerce, and then obviously saw the video series that Benji threw up, absolutely amazing, and
Transparent launch.
I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
and I was like, good, this is exactly what I need winning on the course. And so I'm really excited for future plans of just like, starting with the private labeling, building a brand, but then at some point, using my engineering background and designing my own products, working on my own patents and things like that. So
That's cool.
it's definitely, hopefully, some big opportunities ahead.
Man, I love it. Yeah, I like. I don't know. Do you like your job? Do you not like it? Like, what would you do in an ideal world?
So yeah, I mean, I like my job, but I just can't resist the freedom that something like this is going to give me,
Yeah.
and that's like the motivator. But also the scalability, like the fact that like I can just put in a little more work and then just add more
Oh,
revenue and just keep adding
yeah.
more and more revenue, and there's just really no ceiling,
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
that's probably the biggest driver for me right now is the fact that I can just like grind away and just keep launching product after product. Once I've like,
Yeah.
figured out the system, it doesn't change, right? And
Oh man.
well, it takes a little bit, but like
Yeah.
just keep, learning every day and just keep launching more products and building out brands. And then all of a sudden, like, you know, hoping, crack that $100,000 a month revenue mark, things like that. And
Yes,
so,
sir. Oh, I like it.
and yeah, so like that's the stuff that's motivating. And so I can swing both right now, and but the goal is that at some point I make this the full-time job, not necessarily because I like hate my other job, but more so because I want to dedicate full time to this and just like blow it up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I feel that, man. It's like I said, or like you said, I guess it is. It's a system. Like once you make your first $10, all you have to do, the first 10 is the hardest. The first one is the hardest.
yeah,
Like once you make one, it's just a matter of doing what works over and over, and it moves up so quick, like you said. So it's an amazing, the fact that you have the skill set is the biggest thing. Like the money in the beginning is like, okay, fine, it might help, but the reality is once you know how to do this stuff, you can just scale it to the moon. So I'm stoked for it, because for me, I had 2 jobs and I like hated them, and I just every
Mm,
day I wanted something like you said, that you could just control sort of your income in your life and not listen to someone, right? Like not a great
that's the
listener,
dream.
but so I'm super stoked for you, man.
Thanks. Yeah, no, I mean, obviously couldn't have done it without you guys, and you know, hoping to just keep the journey going.
Yeah, so I guess let's talk about you for a minute. What I want to do in this whole thing is, um, there's a couple of things. One, I want to help you succeed more, and I think we're gonna do some like one-on-one coaching just after like I'm gonna stop recording so we can actually talk about what your product is and all that. I want to do that to make sure you get from where you are today to like the next big level. The second piece, though, and I think this is equally as important, I want to showcase you, man. I want you to be like, um, sort of an example for people, because I think a lot of people, they look at this sort of journey and they look at money online, and Benji and I, as just like sort of deities or like things that don't actually happen. And the reality is, like, normal dudes like you and I don't want to say you're normal, you're probably smarter than I am, but like like we're making money, it's possible, and that's what I want to show. So I'd love to do a little case study with you and just figure out like, okay, where did you get stuck, where did you succeed, what did you learn, like just that sort of stuff, because I feel like from you in the trenches, it's an amazing thing for other people to see.
No, absolutely. I think like my this whole like little journey, I guess, for me started. It was really like January 1st of this year when I was like,
Yeah,
all right, like I'm gonna just make this thing happen. And
yeah,
um, but no, I was on the other side where I was like looking, watching all these videos, and there's everyone's just showing off like, here, look at me doing like $100,000 a month, like,
yeah,
and you kind of look at that and you're like, okay. But the more I like got into it, the more research I did, I was like, okay, this is real. Like,
yeah,
this is a real business, and like these are, you're selling real products and you're building real things, and I think that's the biggest thing that kept me going forward. Was like, all right, like this is legit, and there's thousands of ways to make money online, but for this was like the one that I liked the most, because it was kind of fit my background of engineering and product development, but also it was just real and it just seemed legit. And so absolutely, yeah, I think anything, any showcasing you want to do with me, I'm all in for it. And yeah, definitely want to keep working with you guys in the future, because I think I have definitely a good skill set, and I think just a little bit of guidance, we can make big things happen.
Sweet. Yeah, so tell me, like, for you, what's been your results so far? Like, not specifically what your product is or anything, but like, what have you seen starting from zero in January? Like, what's the big picture look like for you right now?
Do you mean like just in terms of like where I want to like take everything, or just like what I've like
I guess,
experienced?
yeah, like so far, like your revenue, your launch, how did it go? That's generally, I guess, the
Yeah.
first biggest thing. Then we can break it down into what the journey looked like.
Yeah. I mean, so I would say that like my biggest like success, or like the biggest reason for my success on this first product, is I just feel like there's just a ton of like, I was doing all my research, and I just saw that there's a lot of demand for this product. And I,
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong, but I kind of look at the like a different way. I kind of see like, if there's a lot of demand, then there's just going to be a lot of sales, and it's like
yeah.
a big pie that you might as well take a piece out of.
Oh yeah,
And
put your hands under
and
the
and I kind of
faucet.
like, yeah, exactly.
Thank
And
you,
I
sir.
kind of see
Yes.
like, yeah. And so this like niche I'm in, it's got like, it just has a lot of sales, and like,
Sweet.
there's listings with, there's a bunch of guys with like 100 plus reviews, but then there's also a good amount of guys with like, in the 20s to 40.
Yeah.
um and so I kind of was just like, all right, like there's sales happening every day here, so
Yeah.
like let me get in. And I didn't really do a crazy amount of like, you know, customization on my product, or any sort of like crazy upfront work in my listing. I kind of just was like, all right, let me get something out there, let me just start learning. I just want to,
Yep.
like, I need to learn PPC. It's the best way to learn that is just to do it.
Yeah.
And so I went pretty heavy on like PPC and everything. And for, about 3 weeks, I was probably, just above break even. But just keeping the momentum going, keeping the snowball rolling, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
then these last couple of weeks, I was like, all right, let me just start like playing around with it. So I like would start backing off PPC, and then I would start to see more organic sales. Then sales would slow down a bit. So I was like, okay, let me boost up PPC a bit more, like so just playing around with things like that. And but I just kind of my approach has been to just kind of be confident and just kind of go into areas where there is a lot of demand, and maybe there's like a few too many competitors than
Yep.
like I feel comfortable with, but just being confident that like, all right, like the money's here and
Yep.
I'm gonna try and get it, and like game on. Like I just it's a game, like I just like
That's cool.
I'm just so
Yeah. So the money's
that's
there
kind of
and
like
you got the system.
yeah, and like that's kind of like my approach for the next product I'm launching is definitely pretty competitive as well. But so I'm like, I guess I'm fortunate that I've built up a nice like little pile of cash to invest in myself and invest in this business. And
Sweet.
so like I'm definitely starting with more than every person that or not, but more than most people that I hear talking about.
And everyone. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like I think like what I've noticed like in the Facebook group and everything is like people are like, oh, can we start with like $500, $1,000? And like, I'm starting with, a considerably amount more than that. And I think that I'm going to take advantage of that and go into these competitive niches and just be okay. Like,
Yep.
I'm placing 1,000-piece initial order because that allows me to do all the customizations and stuff. And I have enough money to just spend a lot on PPC and really just get everything moving.
Sweet.
And I think that, I'm feeling pretty good about that just because like there's just a ton of sales every day happening, and
Yep.
I might as well grab them.
That's killer. So what was your product research like? Like, did that take you a while, or how bad was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely took. I mean, I probably spent like I don't know 30 hours doing product research.
Yeah.
And I started the traditional, just like Jungle Scout, doing all the filters on the product database. And then I really started to find niches by kind of just going through the like seller profiles, going to their products, and then just
Yep.
it really is kind of just like almost mindless like
Yeah.
surfing of the web, and
Like the rabbit hole. You just keep clicking somewhere.
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, and just run that Jungle Scout extension. That's like that's it's just amazing the tools that we have. Like that's the thing. Like just of any sort of like online business or just any business in general, it's like if someone told me like you're going to sell a product that other people are selling and they're making this much money and you just have to sell as well as them,
It's
like
amazing.
I'd be like, I'm in, but yeah, so it was, I'd say I definitely was kind of just, I got like definitely frustrated at many times, but I'd say my advice to anyone would just be, just keep going, just keep looking, and just keep chugging through pages and pages, and honestly start with Jungle Scout, but then kind of just veer off that and just see, just keep going through the rabbit hole and just see what's out there.
How did you know when you found the right product? Like, what was your, I guess, decision?
So I was actually never like, so I was, I think I was your classic, like on the fence, on the fence, on the fence. And
that's everybody, man. Don't feel bad about that.
Yeah, exactly. And so for a while, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this product. Like the product I'm selling, it definitely, like we'll get into it later, but there's like, it's definitely one of those products where it either works or it doesn't. And so it was definitely a little bit risky to start with this product. And there were a decent amount of like negative reviews of like, this doesn't work at all. But then there's a lot of reviews like, this works great.
Yeah.
And it really was just that, like, I was just like, all right, I have done all this research and I'm dreaming about like this sort of like business I want to start, this sort of life I want to live, but I haven't done anything yet. So screw it. Like, I'm just going to launch this product. Like the numbers, checked all the boxes with the demand, the amount of reviews, the
Yep.
competitors, everything was fine. Demand was good. And I just did your classic take action, and like,
Sweet.
here we are, and,
Oh yeah. Love that.
and that's like, yeah, exactly. And like, it was just huge. Like, you just got to go for it. And, I would say to anyone, like, if anyone's taking the masterclass, like, everything you need is in there, and just be confident and take action. And that's what I did. And like, I'm so glad I did. Like, I don't really plan on, like, I'm eventually going to phase this product out, just because like I've gotten some like decent amount of returns and some poor reviews, and like, I expected all that, but I've just learned so much. And I've actually turned out like a $3,000 or $4,000 profit off of it anyways.
Sweet.
And I've
And you didn't customize it a lot either, so it's just
yeah, exactly.
product. Yeah.
So it's kind of like I made money to learn. And
yeah, it's great.
And so now I'm just like, I'm just so excited for the next like few products I'm selling, where like I've started my brand name. I'm like, putting logos on stuff, and
Sweet.
really gonna go all in on like package design and get the listing looking good. So yeah, I think really it was just I just had to take action, and I'm glad I did.
Awesome, man. Dude, you did it before you knew. That's cool. I think the reason I ask is, honestly, like, even for me, I got stuck for about 3 weeks trying to decide which product to launch. And I think so many people, if they take action in the beginning, they stop and they quit before they launch a product, because they don't know for sure. They don't take that leap of faith that you took. And that's what keeps them from making whatever the amount of money is, right? Like, it's tough.
Exactly. That's the thing, is like, I was contemplating for like a full week. And I almost, I guess this goes to like the, accountability thing. Like, I was telling like my family about it. I was telling like my friends,
Sweet.
like, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm doing.
Good.
And then I was like, wait, like, I haven't even launched the product yet. Like, how can I tell them that I'm like, starting an online business if I haven't
Yeah.
done anything? And so I was like, all right, like, these numbers are fine. Everything's fine. Like, let's just do it. And here we are.
Great.
It's awesome.
Yeah, dude. I'm excited for you. That's cool. And that accountability helps, because if you don't start telling people and you just hide it, you don't have that accountability that you need to be like, they ask you in 2 months at the family reunion, hey, how's it going? Like, it better
Yeah.
be going well.
Well, that's the thing. And like, yeah. And like, I like to talk about, this, because it's just such a cool, like, business model that, like, so many people that I've talked to, they never heard of it. And, but at the same time, I do it for myself, because
Yeah.
if I'm telling 10 people that I'm doing this, like, I'm always thinking about, like, I just told them I'm doing this, and I better do it. Like,
Yeah.
so,
That's
yeah.
amazing, man. That's powerful. So did you think about quitting ever when you were doing this? Like, were there moments for you that were super tough?
Um, no, so I never thought about like quitting. I guess I just, there were moments when I just was like, I lost like motivation, I guess,
Yep.
there were definitely moments where I was like, all right, like, I definitely got like a little like hesitant on going forward. I was like, all right, I think, I've seen all the results like of other people. This is definitely a possibility, but like,
Yeah.
man, like, I don't know if this product's right. I don't know if this product's
Right.
right.
Totally.
Do I want to keep putting this effort? Like, I still work, you know, 50 hours a week. And so for me coming home every day, I was like, do I want to do product research tonight?
Yeah.
And I was like, some days, plenty of nights where I was like, I don't know. But yeah, I just kept doing product research. Like, I'd watch TV in the background and do product research, just like making
Yeah.
sure that I'm always like looking. And then like the more and more I just kept going, I was like, all right, I think I got to keep going with this. But yeah,
Yeah.
there's definitely the lows where it was, it was tough to just keep going forward, but then just power through it,
Yeah.
and the rest is history.
It's a grind, man. It's just little action. If you can keep yourself from getting burnt out, it's amazing. But I burnt
Yeah.
myself out so many times. I was like 8 hours, 0 hours, 0, 0, 0, 8 hours, 0,
Yeah,
0.
exactly.
I messed myself up in the beginning.
Well,
That's
yeah, and I would spend like, I'd spend all weekend just like doing product research and coming off like, 6 hours straight of research and finding nothing. And I was like, like, it's pretty demoralizing, but then when you find that product and you start selling, like,
Oh, it's
now
fun.
like,
That's sweet, man. So what is your launch? Your launch went well. And I saw the post in the Facebook group. What were the rev numbers? I remember you posted them in the group, but I don't have them on hand.
so yeah, so I hit $10,000 on like my 19th day of selling.
Bobby, you dog.
Yeah. So, well, the crazy thing was, on like my fifth or sixth day of selling, I had a over $1,200 day, and I was like, "Wow, this is just crazy." And and I had my first order of I only ordered, so my product's relatively expensive. Like, the sale price was about 39 to $42, and the landed cost was about just under 16.
Yep.
So I ordered 300 304 units just because of like the packaging size. So um, when I hit 29 units on like that fourth day, I was like freaking out because I had to order more revenue. And
Yep.
the whole it was about like a month lead time like by the time I placed the order and got it into the Amazon warehouse. And so I was like, this is amazing, but like, oh wow, we got to slow this down.
Yeah.
So I jacked my price up just to and it was all testing too. I was like, all right, like, let's see what happens if I just jack my price up. And sales like slowed down, but not like a crazy amount.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've been average. Well, like my average is about $500 a day.
Sweet.
And so I
Not too
guess
bad for your first
total.
month, man.
Well, yeah, exactly. So
Not too shabby.
yeah, the first month ended up being like $16,100.
Wow.
So
Brand new business. That's cool.
yeah, it's cool. And it's the cool thing is just like in terms of like the business model in general, where like I ended the first month like with like 2 or 3 grand in profit. And
Yeah.
like, what business can you say like that you start making money after the first month? Usually you put in 2 years of
It's crazy, man.
I see that firsthand of like the company I work for now. It's just three of us. There's three people. It's these two brothers that started the company, and then me as like the engineer. And like we're scraping by. It's tough.
Yeah.
Like, we're not really making a crazy amount of money. And so
It's
just
brutal.
realizing the potential of like what's possible, where everything is taken care of. There's no such thing as like your
Yeah.
own warehouse. You don't have your own like packaging workers. When you look at that margin on the revenue calculator, like that's your profit. Like, that's it. There's nothing
Yeah.
else to worry about. So yeah. So no, definitely, I think I'm sure there's some degree of luck in in starting out that fast, but I like to think that I had all the right knowledge from picking the right course to go on. And
Yeah, that helps.
and but yeah, no, and that's huge. Like, just is the like, obviously the transparent launch, like, I'm sure you could probably figure out everything in that, but just having like the master class where everything's laid out,
Yeah.
everything's like nice and organized, and goes even more in depth. And you know it was just, that's probably like the most worthwhile investment I've ever made, just because like
It's amazing.
I think, well, I got it on your sale price anyways. It was like
Yeah.
$400. Like,
Yeah.
just give me a year and I'll like 1,000 times that return.
Right. Easy. So have you tried, well, two things. First, I appreciate the fact that you think the course did it, but the reality is, man, like, there are thousands of people who take courses every year and like they don't make shit. So excuse my French, but like, you took action, you actually did stuff, you took the leap of faith, like all that stuff. It's all you, man. Like, we can say words all day, but it doesn't do anything until you do it. So first, it's kudos to you. But the second piece is, man, um, did you before have any like entrepreneurial experience? I know you're working with a startup, but did you ever try entrepreneurship yourself before, or is this your first foray into it?
No, yeah, I guess when I was I'd say about like 3 or 4 years ago, one of my friends, he and I like came up with this like unique product idea. And I mean, we were still both sophomores in college, so we didn't really
Yeah.
have time to like really pursue it. But that was kind of the first taste of like let's be those people that start our own company in college,
Yeah.
and let's try and drop out. And
That's
so
sweet.
I guess you could say I always have like that sort of like hustle mindset where like
Yeah.
I'm always looking for those opportunities. And but no, I never really like invested any sort of money into you know any sort of like entrepreneurship. Like we were kind of
Yeah.
like I
Right.
definitely gained a lot of knowledge just by like we started the patent process, things like that. And so I like figured out that. But no, I mean, this was kind of like my first true dive into like making some legit money on my own. And
Yeah. That's cool, man. And
awesome.
16K in your first month as a first time entrepreneur, that's not too shabby.
I know,
There's
right?
people that work their whole lives for that, man. Congratulations. Wow. Do you think like, I guess I was in a very similar boat, like very same, kind of same as you. Like I'd try to, I had the sort of mindset, but I'd tried a bunch of stuff that didn't work. I think just because I didn't have the whole idea, I tried to patchwork everything
Mhm.
in and figure, didn't really work. But did you like, I made a ass ton of mistakes, I guess. This is going to be a curse filled call, but um,
Mhm.
like, did you make any big mistakes that you can like remember, or ones that you would recommend other people not do? Because I know I made my share. I go over them in the course a lot, but
Um, let's see. I mean,
aside from making too much money.
no, I mean, I guess the classic line that I'll say, which is, somewhat true, is like, I wish I started earlier. My biggest mistake was not starting earlier. But no, I think if I were to pinpoint like a mistake would be to like losing faith, like
Yeah,
losing that drive. And, that's something that I'm just so glad that I barely like made it out of that because, now we're here.
yeah,
And, I think what I would say is I don't think I've had enough experiences to have like, a lot of mistakes. Like I think, as we go, over the next few months, I'm sure I'm going to make a lot of mistakes.
yeah,
And I think it's definitely some of I guess a good mistake that I've made that I kind of made it out okay was, just it goes hand in hand with this taking action thing where I think I jumped in on a product that was a little too risky, and
yeah,
it turned out okay, and it turned out quite well. But I think, it could have turned out very poorly, and I could have been, you know, 5 grand down the drain. And so I don't think I did quite enough due diligence on this product, but at the same time, I just, had to just go for it and take action, and I'm glad I did. So I'm sure there's going to be plenty of mistakes to come in the future, but
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I
hard
mean,
to say.
everyone makes them. It's just good to it's good if you can pick them out in retrospect. Like for me, it was 2020. Like I wasted, oh, dude, I think I wasted probably a whole 3 days, like modifying little buttons on my Shopify website before I went into Amazon because I just thought I needed a Shopify website and it was just some garbage. And I just
Mhm.
like did a whole bunch of Shopify stuff. And I was like, wait a second, I barely even need a website. Why don't I just toss up a link? And looking back, it's obvious. Like those sorts of time wasters are huge that just keep people feeling busy, but like they don't add
Yeah.
any value at all. Like I don't
No,
know.
I think,
I
yeah,
did
no,
a lot.
going on that actually, that's a good point. Like, I think when I like for like I don't know, I guess after selling this thing for like 2 weeks, I told myself I'm going to dedicate some time every day after work.
Hmm.
But some days after work, I just come home and just kind of like refresh Seller Central and like that was it. And like I was like, okay, like just waiting for the next sale to come in, next sale, and then I would go to bed. I'd be like, wait, like I didn't do any extra work. I didn't do anything to advance this product. I didn't do any
Yeah.
product research tonight. I kind of just like got a little caught up in like, oh, this is like selling. But
Yeah. Right.
and then now I'm like, all right, like got to make sure I'm like actually doing something, and we'll refresh Seller Central every hour or so, not every 5 minutes.
Yeah, you gotta hold yourself back. The other thing that I had was looking for new reviews. I did new reviews like every day. I just click in and look at my new reviews and be like, okay, that's a great one. That's so good.
Oh yeah, no, I certainly do that.
I definitely do that as well. That's
Yeah.
funny. Do
Well,
you
I
think?
guess I think well, one more thing on the reviews.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
I definitely got a little too almost like emotionally involved in my product. And that when I got my first 1-star review, I was like, oh my God, like, this is terrible.
My life's
My
over.
listing's done. Like I have, another 300 units coming in, and how am I going to sell these? Like, my listing's over. But
Yeah.
I realized, okay, everything's okay. Like that happens.
Yeah. So what, like, it's funny because your emotional investment in the beginning is just so high because you're like, oh man, every review counts. It's gigantic. And then it just gets lower and lower and lower, especially as you get more products, man. It's just like, oh, a 1-star. Okay, well, I've got 110 5-stars, so it doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Except for that person's experience. Ideally, we'd like to make everyone feel happy. But yeah, that's big. Do you think, like, what does this do for you, man? Like, what do your future plans look like now? Like, what do you want to accomplish? Because I feel like it sounds like you've got some runway and you're ready to 10x it. What's your goal?
Yeah, I mean, so like I guess over the next few months, I still have my job and everything, and that's gonna, I'm gonna keep the same like workflow that I'm doing,
Yeah.
and just finding time after work and on the weekends. And I've basically told myself that, I'm not gonna even think about leaving my job until, I'm trying to hit like $50,000 a month in revenue,
Sweet.
and then, if I can get like 5 solid products launched,
Yep.
then, and start really thinking about like, okay, what are the steps to, go up to like 15 products. And obviously that's going to require me to, give it like full-time attention. And so,
Yeah.
so the next few months are just going to be, every day I'm just consuming knowledge. And I think that's the biggest thing, is that I've just really enjoyed like just learning every day. Like every day I go just watching like YouTube videos, just like playing around with things and just learning. And so like all of my free, like there's some quote out there that's like, educate versus entertain. Like, what do you do with your time? You got to educate yourself or entertain yourself. So right now I'm just focusing on like just educating, and then product research, just working on a few new products. So I'm launching 2 products hopefully within the next month.
Cool. Nice, man.
And then, so I'm really taking like everything I do is like the long-term approach, where
Yep.
like, I've got my brand name picked out, I've got the logo, everything done. And, I'm going to try and get up to like 3 or 4 products in that brand. And then look for a different brand just to keep, keep things interesting.
Yeah. Mix
So
it up a little bit.
yeah, exactly. Right. And so yeah, I mean, it's just going to be just launching as many products as I can. And I have a nice little pile of cash to work with, and I'm definitely going to take advantage of that, so that, when time comes where I need, I tell myself I need to put full time into this, then I'll have those 4 to 5 products really moving, and hopefully spitting off, some money that I can live off of, but then just keep reinvesting back. But yeah, I mean, it's just scale, and
That's cool.
and then get to the point where like, and the way I see like all my product launches is I'm just trying to do like an incremental scale of like how much customization I do. So like, these next few products, we're just working on like logos, colors, package design. And then, do that for definitely a good amount of products. But at some point, hopefully within like a year, it's like, okay, I really sit down and find, hopefully build some relationships with suppliers and start designing my own products, and start solving real world problems with my own products in markets that I know sell well. And that's the biggest thing, is like just using the knowledge of the sales channel that, that this is, and just using the knowledge of what markets are selling, and then designing a product for that market that's just going to beat out every other competitor. So
yeah, man, that's amazing. It's really cool. The fact that you have their platform at your disposal to just do whatever you want in life. Like if Amazon does not have traffic for something, no one has traffic for something. Like there's just nowhere in the world, so it's a super amazing platform for that. Like you think at the end of 2018, you still have a job? Or what do
No,
you
I think,
know?
I think, uh, I think I'm really trying to, like, September
Yeah.
would be my goal, because I want to devote, I want to have a big Q4, and I want to make sure that, if I can get like a good chunk of time into to launch a few products, a few more products, maybe even 5 more products before
Yeah.
Q4, then that could be big, and don't want to miss out on that. So,
Yeah,
but
that's cool.
see what happens.
Yeah, I think you might be having more foresight than I did. I think I quit my job at my second product started doing well, and I was like, "See ya, going to Brazil."
Yeah. Well,
Like,
that's the thing, and it's going to be, yeah. I mean, it's the position I have now is like, it's hard to just walk away from. There's going to be there's definitely needs to be a transition period. So yeah, I mean, I think at some point it'll have that conversation with my bosses, and tell them that, this is what I'm doing, and I need to give it some more attention. And I just dream about the days where this is like my full-time job, and
yeah,
because I just know it's possible, and I just don't see a ceiling on like
right.
what is possible. And so, you know, hopefully 2 years down the road, we're just doing some crazy numbers, and looking
Yeah,
forward to that.
it's amazing, man. Would you be, what is it, kite surfing? Is that what you specialize in?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I love doing. So I'm heading to Barbados on Saturday for a
Yeah.
week with one of my buddies. So little surfing, kiteboarding trip. But yeah, that's honestly one of the big reasons I'm doing this, is because, like, you know, where I live, it's windy here and there. I mean, it's windy
Yeah.
a good amount of times, but like, why do a job where I'm sitting on my desk just, with the jitters because it's super windy outside. All I want to do is go kiteboarding, and then get to a weekend when I can go kiteboarding, it's not windy. So it's like, I
Yeah,
want,
right.
this business model appeals to me, is because, like, you know, it's just freedom of my time. Like, if it's a really crummy day outside, like, I'm gonna sit down and work all day and just keep grinding. But if
Yeah.
it's like a really nice day, it's windy, I'm gonna go kiteboarding.
Yeah.
And
That's freaking
and
sweet.
that's just the dream.
Where do you live, by the way?
Just outside Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston. Okay. Yeah, it's funny. I've never heard anyone, until like people started getting into kiteboarding, kite surfing. Like, I've never heard anyone like looking outside for wind. Like, that's such a specific
Oh,
thing to look outside for. Like,
I'm
is it?
obsessed. Yeah.
Where is it?
Oh my God. I check long range forecasts. Like, it's my job,
Oh yeah. Oh, dude,
So,
that's cool. Would you consider going professional if you had time freedom?
nah, I don't think I'm good enough for that, but, well, we'll see once I
Well,
get
you
enough
weren't good
time.
enough at Amazon to make 15K in a month either. Look at you now.
But, well, yeah, now that I mean, that's the whole goal, is just make enough time to go kiteboard whenever I want. And then,
That's cool.
but also the fact that we can do this job anywhere in the world, there's an internet connection, like, can't beat
Yeah.
that. So,
Yeah, man, you can do
so
it. I'm literally in like some random bedroom in Benji's parents' house in Melbourne right now, just visiting them, just making money. I don't. Um, that's sweet, man. So what? I guess I don't want to make the case study too long, but what one or two pieces of advice would you give people, like as someone who's now crushed it and is going to continue to crush it? What do you think?
yeah, I mean, I think, what I would say, you know, first and foremost, is the reason I'm here, and that's just take action, just
Yep.
do it. But before that, just be confident that, just be confident and trust that, like, what you've learned is going to work. And
Yeah.
I think, I think that was big for me, was like, all right, I just, I was confident that I was learning, the system well. I was confident that I had, the knowledge to do what I needed to do. And then that led me to just take action. So I think, just having some confidence. Don't be like outrageously cocky about it, but just be confident and go for it.
Yeah.
And then, just take action. And you're, if, you have to make mistakes to succeed, and you're never going to know what it's like if you're always on the outside looking in. And so for me, it was just get in there and do it. And now I just have such a clear picture of like what I want to do. And I never would have thought of, the next steps if I hadn't gotten started.
Sweet. That's killer, man. Yeah, it's so cool to just hear you be like, yeah, man, all I did was take action and like make mistakes, or like at least make decisions, like the
Yeah,
worst
exactly. Just
the worst decision I feel
experience.
like people can make is just no decision, because as soon as you make no decision, you're just opting to go back to whatever you had.
Yeah, exactly. Like what can you learn from not doing anything? You can
Yeah.
learn a lot more from making a mistake than you can from not doing anything.
Yeah.
And then obviously you can learn from succeeding too. And that's not possible unless you just go for it.
That's sweet. Well, cool, man. So let's hop into the coaching. I don't want to like record that portion, because I don't know, like some people might just try to like rip your products and like try to do that. But for everyone that might be watching this in the future, I apologize about the lumberjack beard. And this is Bobby Big Money McLaughlin. That's your nickname, isn't it?
That's right. Coming soon.
Just come up with that on the spot. That's pretty good. But yeah, man, I really appreciate it. And to all you people out there, hope you enjoyed it. Let's see. I'm gonna stop.